Hello, welcome everybody. Thanks for joining me live here from Pivotal SpringOne Cloud Conference in Las Vegas at the beautiful Aria Resort. I feel bad from a aesthetics perspective. I have the emergency exit on this side, and it's not the bathroom, but some other exit on the other side. And I'm violating the thirds concept. When my colleague Doug Henshin sees this, he will say, "I told you, do the thirds." Well, I'm sitting back in the middle in this cluster style. So overall, I think a very good event. I think the largest spring conference ever. No surprise with all the commitment that Pivotal has put behind Spring as a framework overall, which is very well supported by the Cloud Foundry platform. So not too much of a surprise here. Significant interest from enterprises, no doubt about that. So I'll show you a little bit more about the people running behind me. And what are my top 3 takeaways of the event? So it's all about the software definition lifecycle, the SDLC, or the software development lifecycle. With more things coming, actually, a lot of emphasis by the Pivotal executives and the Spring executives on doing things in loops and circles. If you paid attention at the keynote today, you saw that quite a lot, because Pivotal has new offerings there on the requirement side with Tracker, with it's not convulsion, but something similar on the testing side, and with very important metrics on the overall part. So overall, Pivotal now has 6 pieces around the way how they would like to see the software development lifecycle. That's the first part, where so it becomes much more strategic for the enterprise, not just a tool to develop your code and deploy your code to a certain point. Second one, obviously, is Spring has its second Spring, right? It was a very popular framework in the mid-2000s, then kind of like quiet a little down with the VMware acquisition. Some things didn't work as properly as they said. Now being part of the Pivotal fold, it's the framework with which you build things on Cloud Foundry, and that has created kind of like, pun intended, the second Spring for the Spring framework around the hot use cases of building code today, moving things to the cloud, and building microservices framework. So no question about this. Good to see the progress. And 8 Cloud Foundry investments overall are the ones which are really pushing forward the overall investment from Pivotal, which really fit very well. And the very first one is fittingly for the conference, that Cloud Foundry should be the best platform for the Spring framework. But then right as the next bullet, it's going to be 8, and I'll walk you through this, be a first-class Windows and .NET support citizen as well, given the partnership with Microsoft. Security is the third investment theme. Multi-cloud operations is probably the one which works the best for Pivotal Cloud Foundry right now. No matter if enterprise or ISVs, they look at Cloud Foundry from a multi-cloud perspective. Not that they're necessarily deploying on multiple clouds right now, but they want to have the freedom of mind, sleeping well at night, that they could deploy to different multiple clouds. What we see from our customers is more multi-cloud deployments definitely come in the future because of data gravity, so key capability of the Cloud Foundry platform. And no surprise, investment to enterprise containers and enterprise-ready data service. That's what matters to enterprise right now. Containerization, microservices is one of the key reasons why enterprises are embarking into building new applications right now from scratch, because they see better scalability, better compartmentalization of concerns. Operational insight, a big theme from metrics perspective, the 7th one, and then the circle of code. Here we go again. It's all about the circle of Pivotal these days. From my overall point of view, really good progress on the library perspective, good progress from a platform perspective, and very interesting support from a customer side during the keynote today. We had interesting insights shared by Comcast and by Citi. Comcast was already on stage at the Cloud Foundry Summit, thanks to Black Otto for having a brand new deck, brand new presentation. And the insights and the savings shared are really interesting. One of the very important things is like, how long does it take from idea to go to a real product? And these numbers are down to from weeks to days for Comcast. Greg Otto, their head of cloud innovation, shared. 75% increase in velocity and time to market is very impressive, due to the fact that all the infrastructure is not managed by the developers anymore, by DevOps or by IT, but out of the Cloud Foundry capabilities and framework. Idea to feature another important metric for Comcast, went from weeks to 2 to 3 days. A really interesting figure from that, which is important for an agile business in the age of digital transformation. And then application scaling, making sure that the new baby is really working well, is no longer a headache, and went from a month exercise where to figure out what hardware to buy, what to provision, to negotiate, bring it up to speed and so on, down to minutes. Definitely a very strong reference for the Cloud Foundry platform. Equally strong was a gentleman from Citibank, talking about what they're doing with the Cloud Foundry platform and with Spring. Very interesting insights on their move, how they do lifecycle on microservices. So from an overall point of view, great customer attraction. Adoption remains a challenge in the sense that there's a lot of competition at the moment. That's why I call Cloud Foundry something we do reluctant as analysts, the king of PaaS at the moment. But it's really changing the internal process from being a more agile enterprise, one which parts of the existing best practice of buying standard software, paying a lot for implementing it, and then living with the gaps of the consequence of customization instead of building your own enterprise software. That's a significant departure, but it normally means to make that decision, but it also means to understand more agile development processes, really think about what your requirements are, look in the future, have the guts to say, this is how I want to run my business. And that's probably the biggest challenge that Pivotal sees. Overall, from a product perspective, it's going to be interesting to see what is going to be Pivotal's next move. There's things which I think they should be thinking about, both making it better to develop and automate pieces pushed out. To the mobile perspective, mobile side, pretty much every next generation application product we advise on has a mobile component. It could be something around machine learning things which are coming right now, which are very strategic, important for customers. I personally think machine learning could be an equal, if not bigger, drive to build your own applications and microservices, because there's immediate value if it works, and business and enterprise users can directly understand the threat. If their competitor does that, talk to a CEO and say, well, our competitor is doing better because they build some microservices. He's going to look at you rather bewildered, and maybe you can explain it to him as a trusted technologist. But it's very different than when somebody says, maybe thanks to the money that IBM and others have put in advertising, that somebody can speak to their application. Somebody the application can recognize facial expression and interest of that, and make proposals based on that where to go in a store. These are all real-world pieces, much easier to understand by business executives who make the decision. But I'm talking way too long here. That is me with greetings from Las Vegas, where it's nice and toasty, way in the triple digits outside, so nice city inside of area. A good event at SpringOne. It still goes on this week. If not, I encourage you to look at my blog post. It's going to come out soon. Look at the tweets coming from the event. The hashtag is hashtag S1P. Very simple, very short, light load, very scalable. Kudos to whoever came up with it. Only 3 characters burned on the tweet. Well done. A couple of story files out there for me. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Have a good day.